Welcome to the Wealthy Woman's Podcast, a podcast for high-achieving women who are great at making money but struggle to build wealth. You'll learn how to take control of your money, increase your net worth, and make more. Ladies, it's time to create a life with more money and more freedom. Let's dive in. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 36 of the Wealthy Woman's Podcast. I hope you all are having a fabulous week. And guess what? This is Thanksgiving week, and I'm so excited to celebrate with my family, with my friends. And I am one of those people who refuses to celebrate Christmas until after Thanksgiving. So I don't buy any decorations or put up any decorations before Thanksgiving. I also don't listen to any Christmas music before Thanksgiving. And I do not watch any Christmas movies until after Thanksgiving. I think Thanksgiving needs to have its own time, right? I do not like the fact that when I go to stores, even before Halloween, Christmas decorations are up. I think Christmas begins after Thanksgiving, and we get to celebrate the entire month of December and, of course, the end of November. That's just me. I know it's very traditional, maybe even a little old school, but that's just how I roll. But, of course, in honor of Thanksgiving, I have to do a podcast episode about gratitude and thankfulness and being appreciative of what we already have. Part of being someone who is on a continuous self-development journey and always wanting to grow and develop, you definitely need to check yourself sometimes that you're not always looking for the next thing or always wanting for the next thing without really being appreciative of what you already have. I believe that you can desire more, want more, be always stretching and growing, but still feeling lots and lots of gratitude and thankfulness for what you have. To me, that's the sweet spot. When you are so amazed and thankful for what you have while still going for more, that is where you can really feel good on the journey to building the next thing. Because let's be honest, once you hit one goal, there's always another one to hit. And so if you never allow yourself to be grateful and appreciative for where you are, you're always going to be thinking that there is better than here. And that's never the case. That's never the reason to set goals, to think that, well, once I get this, then I'll be happy. That's never true. And so you can be happy right now with what you have today. And the way you do that is by practicing appreciation, by practicing gratitude, and really being thankful for what you have and for where you are. I am going to be leaning on Oprah for this episode because she has so many quotes about gratitude, and she actually credits gratitude for a lot of what she has been able to accomplish in her career and in her life. So I think we can learn a lot from her around thankfulness and gratitude and appreciation. Before we get into the episode, I do want to let you know that at the very beginning of 2024, I will be hosting a workshop titled the 2024 Ultimate Money Planning Workshop. This is where we're going to set our goals for 2024, our money goals, and we are going to craft a plan for how you're actually going to achieve them. This is not anything related to setting New Year's resolutions. I don't do those. I don't believe in them because typically within 30 days, no one can even remember what their New Year's resolution was. But I do believe in setting goals that you are passionate about and creating a plan for how to get there. And that is exactly what I'm going to be walking you all through during that workshop, because here's the thing, a goal without a plan is simply a wish. And I think that's why so many New Year's resolutions fall flat, because there was never a plan for how you were going to achieve them. And if there was a plan, there wasn't a commitment to following through on that plan until the goal became a reality. So I will be walking you through this. I'm so excited about it. More information to come, but I wanted to put it on your radar. Okay. So before we get into the content for today, I want to let you know that you don't have to wait to 2024 to take control of your money. Like, you can decide right now. And if you're anything like me, you don't want to have to wait. You are like, listen, I don't want to wait until the beginning of January. We still have time left in 2023. And if that is you, you are invited to book a consultation with me so that you can end 2023 on a high note. I believe that you still have enough time to end 2023 better than you began it, right? And I want you to know that if this is something you've been thinking about doing, if you've been listening to me for a while, you hear me talk about, booking an interest call or joining me inside of the Wealthy Women's Academy, or, considering maybe one-on-one coaching with me. If you've been in that spot where you're thinking about it, I want you to know that that's exactly where your primitive brain wants you to be. It wants you to always be thinking about doing something instead of actually doing something. This is because it wants you to stay in your comfort zone. Because if you stay in your familiar comfort zone, that is safety. That is where your primitive brain thinks everything is just good and dandy and there's no need to do anything differently. Now, if you're not familiar with this, go to episode number 7 where I break it all down. Now, on the other hand, there's the prefrontal cortex. That's the part of your brain that has you listening to this podcast. It's the part of your brain that has been thinking about actually doing the consultation or scheduling an appointment with me or joining the Wealthy Women's Academy. It's the part that actually wants to do it, right? But the primitive brain keeps you in that thinking, contemplating mode, because if it can keep you there, then in its mind, it's keeping you safe. But how many of us know, and we've heard this quote before, that everything we ever wanted is outside of our comfort zone? So the way our primitive brain keeps us living in our comfort zone is by offering us doubt, fear, and it makes us procrastinate and just be in thinking mode instead of decision and action taking mode, right? And so the excuses and the fear and the doubt is just your primitive brain's way of keeping you in the familiar. It means well, but it's going to keep you living the same life over and over again and not building wealth and not really doing the things that you truly desire as a human being. Okay, so let me give you an example. One of the ways that our primitive brain keeps us safe is having us to avoid pain. Because if you think back when we lived in caves, you really did need to avoid pain in order to survive, right? So don't touch the fire. Make sure you don't fall off the cliff, because they watched people experience tremendous pain and then die from it, right? But today in the world now, we do not need to be afraid of much of the pain that we can experience as humans. So pain, like emotional pain, is actually self-inflicted. So let's pretend you really want to join the Wealthy Women's Academy, or you really want to work with me so that you can get your money under control, but you're in avoidance. You're like sticking your head in the sand and you just don't want to face reality, right? You don't even want to look at your finances. You don't even want to know what it looks like, because your primitive brain knows that if she sees what's going on, she's going to beat herself up. She's going to feel pain. She's going to feel embarrassed. She's going to feel ashamed. She's going to feel frustrated. And I don't want to feel that. So let's just have her avoid looking at anything so that we don't have to feel that pain. But remember, that pain is actually self-inflicted because we beat ourselves up when we look at our finances. But what if we just decided that we're going to get help with a skilled coach, look at your finances with her, and not beat ourselves up about the decisions we made in the past? What if we decided that the decisions we made in the past are decisions that you made based on what you knew at the time? You did the best you could at the time, right? And if you make that commitment to yourself that I'm going to get my money under control, I'm going to take my head out of the sand, I'm going to face reality, but when I face that reality, I will not beat myself up. I am going to have my own back. I am not going to make myself feel like crap because of the decisions that I made in the past. I'm no longer going to talk down to myself by telling myself that I'm bad with money, or that I just don't know what I'm doing, or that I'm just bad at math. No, because none of that's true. You just did the best you could with the knowledge that you had. And you get to draw the line in the sand and decide that you're going to step into your power and become someone different. A person who can look at her financial situation with curiosity and with compassion and decide what you want to do moving forward versus not looking because you know you're going to beat yourself up for the decisions you made in the past. Okay, this is the kind of work I work with my clients on because we think we're just bad with money and that we're just procrastinators or we have no self-control. When the truth is, this is a safety mechanism when we avoid, because when we look at things, we beat ourselves up. We make ourselves feel bad. We feel shame, embarrassment, frustration, and all of those things. And our primitive brain is like, no, I want to protect her from that pain because pain is bad. But what I want you to know is that that is self-inflicted pain, and you don't have to inflict that upon yourself anymore. And even if you do, know that it's coming from the way you're talking to yourself, the way that you're thinking about yourself, and you get to change that. Okay, so if you are inclined, if you have that nudge or feel that nudge to start taking action toward your goals this year and not wait until next year, go to the show notes, book a consultation. I would love, love, love to chat with you and get you scheduled so that we can talk about where you are and how I can help you to get where you want to be. If you want to have a 6-month emergency fund saved, if you want to get out of debt, if you want to start investing more, if you want to start making more, if you just want to learn how to plan your money better or create a spending plan so that you can do all those other things. If you want to stop overspending, I can help you with all of that. That is my specialty. And so if you're interested, just go ahead and book that consultation. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get into the topic for today, which is all about being more grateful for the life you currently have now. Being grateful for the amount of money you have now, the net worth you have now, the career, the family, the health, and the relationships that you have right now. Oprah has a quote that I absolutely love. It says, if you concentrate on what you have, you'll always end up having more. If you focus on what you don't have, you'll never, ever have enough. And I am going to be leaning on Oprah quite a bit for this episode because she has some really powerful quotes around gratitude. And she actually credits gratitude for her success in being able to continue to move forward and to actually create the life that she has, because she really does embrace that gratitude. She says it gives her a different energy. It helps her to perform. And I agree. Whenever I sink into gratitude and being appreciative of what I have, I literally feel so good on the inside. And I want to offer that to you today. And so that's what we're going to talk about. So here's what I know. Many of us want to be grateful once the thing or things happen, once we get the money, once we get the clients, once the house is ours, once we pay off the debt, once we have a certain amount in savings, once our retirement hits $1 million, we want to be grateful after the fact, right? You're like, give me the thing and then I will be grateful for the thing. But what if we have it backwards? What if you'll get the things once you are grateful and live in appreciation of where you are now and what you have now? That is exactly what I want to help you to do today. And we're doing this again in honor of Thanksgiving week. I want to help you learn and harness the gift of appreciation and gratitude. So another quote that Oprah has that I actually love is this. She says, being grateful all the time isn't easy, but it's when you least feel thankful that you are in the most need of what gratitude can give you, which is perspective. Gratitude can transform any situation. It elevates your vibration, moving you from negative energy to positive energy. It's the quickest, easiest, most powerful way to affect change in your life. I know this for sure. This is a quote from Oprah Winfrey. As I mentioned earlier, the primitive brain's job is for you to survive, right? It just wants you to survive. And one of the things that it will do is point out danger and negativity, because that's what it took back in the cave days for you to survive. It kept you on a constant look out for dangerous things that could kill you, right? And even today, the primitive brain still operates on that same system, even though we live in a totally different world. So when we're always on the lookout for what's not right, for what's wrong, for what's negative, this feels bad. It just feels bad, right? It keeps us stuck. What we focus on expands. So when we're always focusing on what we don't have, we end up literally creating more of not having. We create more lack. When we focus on not having enough, we create a life that's never good enough. I want you to think about this. Think of a battery. If you look at the ends of a battery, both ends of a battery, there's a positive and a negative charge. There is always opportunity to look at the positive side of a subject because every subject matter has two sides, just like every coin has two sides. And you get to focus on whatever side you want to. We are automatically wired as human beings to always focus on the negative because remember, our primitive brain's job is to help you to survive. And the way it helped you to survive so many years ago was by being on alert for anything that's dangerous, out of the ordinary, wrong. And so we bring that today and we're always looking for the negative. We're always looking for what's not right, what we don't have, and all of the lack. But I want you to know that that's within your control to change. You can change. And that's why Oprah's quote around gratitude, it gives you perspective. If you decide to embrace a life of gratitude, you can always direct your mind to something to be grateful for. This is perspective switching, and it's 100% within your control. So I'm going to give you a real life example here. This summer, my husband and I were out of town. And we ended up getting tons and tons and tons of rain in our community. And we have a finished basement with egress windows. And outside of the egress windows are drains. So whenever we get a lot of rain, the drain, helps to get rid of the rain and it doesn't overflow into the house. Well, apparently that drain collapsed and we ended up getting a ton of water in our bedroom basement. It rose all the way up through the egress window into the house and just ruined the carpet and some of the drywall that was in that room. And of course, this was an unexpected thing. It was not covered by insurance because the water came from outside of the house. And so I automatically went into complaining mode and why me mode and this is horrible mode. And it felt bad. It felt horrible for like a couple days. I was just like in this funk. And then I got some perspective and I was just like, okay, Jermaine, you can stay here or you can just be grateful that you can actually afford to fix this. So many people will not be able to handle this several $1,000 emergency that just came out of nowhere, but you can. Be grateful for that. Be grateful that you're just able to write a check and it's not sinking you, right? You still have money left over. You're not feeling financially strapped after writing those checks. Of course, you didn't want to have to do that, but that's what the money is there for. And so once I was able to kind of redirect my brain to being grateful that I could take care of that situation so that there wasn't even more issues down the line, mold and rot and all of the other things that could happen when you have water damage, we were able to take care of it right away. And so just having that shift in perspective and just being grateful for being able to have the means to take care of the problem, that's part of being a homeowner. That's part of life. Life is always going to life, right? We're always going to have things that happen, but that's why we save. That's why I'm so passionate about you having plenty of money in the bank so that you can take care of those kinds of things without it altering your life, without it causing you a lot of financial stress. So I really had to focus on the positive side of the battery, right? I had to switch and be thankful. And I never went back to complaining about it again. I was so grateful and happy and appreciative that I could fix the problem and I could do it with cash and it didn't cause me to miss any bills. I didn't have to use my credit cards. It was fine. And so I want to offer that to you as well. So another way you can kind of switch your perspective is just to really think about what it means to be wealthy. Like some of us want to build wealth. We want to have a certain net worth. We want to be at a certain level financially. But when you just Google What does it mean to be wealthy? Who's wealthy? How much net worth? There's so many answers to that question. It is so subjective, right? And here's something that I found. The poorest 5% in America are 68% richer than the rest of the world. The poorest 5% in America are 68% richer than the rest of the world. Talk about perspective, right? You can look at where you are and think of yourself as wealthy. Some of you are in the top 20, 15, 10% of earners in America, and you don't even know it. But if you just gather that perspective and think like, oh my gosh, I am richer than most of the world. When you can do that, you can start to feel gratitude for all that you have, even though you still want more. And here's what I want you to know too, like what you think of yourself is way more important than what anyone else thinks of you. You get to walk around thinking that you're wealthy. You get to walk around being grateful for whatever amount of money you have, for whatever amount of money you make, for whatever amount of debt that you don't have. You may have $10,000 worth of credit card debt. You can be grateful that, well, at least I don't have $20,000 worth of credit card debt. Like you can create perspective. You can take any situation you're in and find a silver lining and find gratitude within it. So I really want you to understand this skill. You can be thankful for what you have and still want more. You can live in both worlds, and that is the sweet spot, right? You can be where you are today and not be sad about it, not be mad about it, not be ungrateful about it in order to get to where you want to go. Some of us think we need to beat ourselves up in order to get ourselves in gear. But no, you can be so happy with yourself for where you are, so grateful for where you have, and still be motivated to create more. So let's pretend you are making $150,000 a year, but you want to be making $300,000 a year. This is just an example. You can pull any numbers out of the hat. You can say, okay, I'm making 50K and I really want to be making 100K. Like any numbers will work here. The numbers don't matter. What matters right now is just what I'm going to share with you of how you can be grateful for what you have and still want more. So the first step is to appreciate what you have. Think about what it affords you, what it provides you. Remember the Oprah quote, be thankful for what you have and you'll end up having more. So that is the first part. Wherever you are, financially, your net worth, the income you have, whatever it is, think about what it affords you, what it provides you, and allow yourself to appreciate every bit of that. Then focus on what you want. Allow yourself to dream again. Imagine what it would be like to have double the income. What will you be able to buy? Where will you be able to go? How would your life be different? Embody that. Imagine that. Now, you see what I did there? I said, be grateful for what you have and dream about what you want. Visualize it. Allow that to ruminate inside of you. Both of those feel really, really good. When you're appreciating what you have and imagining how great your life will be when you have more, those are two very similar feelings. But where we usually get messed up is here. We focus on the gap, right? You focus on what you don't have. And I don't want you to do that. I'm offering that you appreciate everything you have and dream about getting more instead of focusing on what you don't have, being mad about the gap, feeling bad about yourself because of the gap, right? There's 2 points on this line, what you have and where you want to be. And there's a bunch of points in between. We're not focusing on those points in between. We're only focusing on the 2 points. What you have, being grateful for that, and reveling in what you're going to achieve. Okay? That is the sweet spot. Do not hate where you are, because the truth is you don't have to hate where you are to get where you want to be. If you do hate where you are, the journey to get where you want to go will be miserable. and you take you wherever you go. So once you get to that 300K, if you did it the entire way being mad about where you were, guess what? When you get to 300K, you're not even going to be able to enjoy it because it's all about the journey, not about the destination. Okay? So allow yourself, I'm going to say it again, appreciate all the blessings you have right now. Perspective is everything. And then dream about where you want to go and how great that will be as well. Because they're both going to be good. They're both good. There's good in both situations. So I'm going to end this episode with another quote from Oprah. She says, "Gratitude is the single greatest treasure I will take with me from this experience." This was a quote she gave during the final episode of the Oprah Winfrey Show. I'm going to say it again. "Gratitude is the single greatest treasure I will take with me from this experience." So I invite you to do the same. Wherever you are now, the experience you're having now, take gratitude with you. Be grateful for wherever you are. Be thankful. And this is the season to do it. Yes, but I want this to be a part of your life. It feels amazing to be appreciative of all of the blessings you have. And that feeling, that energetic feeling that you have will carry you to the next goal. So be grateful for where you are and still allow yourself to desire more. Your desires are important, right? I know a lot of times we hear, oh, be content, be content. Yes, you can be content. And you do that by being grateful for exactly what you have. But do not dim your light. Do not allow yourself to get in a mode where you don't dream. Human beings, we are made for growth. We are made for development. We are made for evolution. Allow yourself to grow. Allow yourself to step outside that comfort zone. Allow yourself to experience the abundance that this life has to offer you. That is what it means to be a human, to grow, evolve, stretch to the next level. I hope this resonates with you. And if you want help implementing this into your life so that you can start building wealth, remember, you can book that consultation by going to the show notes. Let's chat about what your goals are, and I will help you to see perspective and to see that you are already doing amazing things, and I will help you to create more. Okay? I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey, before you go, if you're ready to create a life with more money and more freedom, then you're invited to join the Wealthy Woman's Academy, my signature coaching program where you'll learn how to take control of your money and build wealth without sacrificing your lifestyle. To get started, head on over to jermainefoley.com/WWA. That's Jermaine with a G. See you over there. Bye-bye.